Welcome to Storytime Audio, where we bring you captivating tales of love, betrayal, and the strength of the human spirit. In today's episode, we dive into the story of David and Lisa, a couple whose seemingly perfect life takes a dramatic turn. Join us as we explore their journey through love, heartbreak, and ultimately, redemption. David had always been the kind of guy who believed in the power of hard work and dedication. A computer science student at MIT, he spent most of his time coding and studying, often lost in the world of algorithms and data structures. But one fateful summer night in 2000, his best friend Mark convinced him to step out of his comfort zone and attend a fraternity party. Little did David know, that night would change the course of his life forever. At the party, amidst the loud music and unfamiliar faces, David met Lisa, a woman who seemed as out of place at the party as he felt. Their connection was immediate and undeniable, setting the stage for a love story filled with both joy and unexpected challenges. As you listen, you'll hear how their love blossomed, how they built a life together, and how it all came crashing down when David discovered Lisa's infidelity. But this story isn't just about betrayal, it's about resilience, the power of family, and finding hope in the darkest of times. So, sit back, relax, and let us take you on an emotional journey with Betrayal and Redemption, the story of a cheating wife. David had never been much of a partygoer, but the fraternity party that summer of 2000 was an exception. As a computer science student at MIT, he mostly kept to himself, focusing on his studies and the occasional project with friends. However, that evening, his best friend Mark had convinced him to attend. "You need a break, David," Mark insisted. "You can't spend all your time coding and studying." Reluctantly, David agreed. The party was loud, filled with people he didn't know, and he quickly found himself a corner to observe the crowd. That's when he saw her, Lisa. She wasn't like the other girls there. She seemed more reserved, occasionally smiling politely at those around her but not engaging in the wild antics that many others were. Gathering his courage, David approached her. "Hi, I'm David," he said, extending his hand. Lisa looked up, a bit surprised but then smiled warmly. "Hi, I'm Lisa." Their conversation started awkwardly but soon flowed naturally. They discovered they had a lot in common: a love for books, a passion for travel, and a shared sense of humor. By the end of the night, David felt something he hadn't felt in a long time: hope. Their relationship progressed quickly. They spent hours talking, studying together, and exploring Boston's hidden gems. David found himself falling for Lisa's intelligence and kindness. She, in turn, admired his dedication and honesty. By spring 2003, they were married in a small ceremony attended by close friends and family. Life in their tiny Boston apartment was tough at first. They both worked entry-level jobs and struggled to make ends meet. But they were happy. They commuted together, shared chores, and planned their future. Their love was the foundation that kept them strong through those challenging early years. In 2005, their son Ethan was born, followed by their daughter Sophia in 2008. The arrival of their children brought joy and new challenges. They moved to a modest three-bedroom house in the suburbs, complete with a dog named Max. Life was busy but fulfilling. David's career took off when he was promoted to a senior project manager at a tech firm. The role came with a significant salary increase and more flexible hours, allowing him to work from home frequently. This new job felt like a reward for years of hard work and dedication. He could now provide better for his family, and their lifestyle improved significantly. Lisa, too, found her stride as a part-time marketing consultant. She balanced her work with taking care of the kids, managing their schedules, and still finding time to support David. They made a great team, each complementing the other's strengths and weaknesses. Their life seemed perfect, a dream come true. Despite the apparent perfection, small cracks began to appear. David's new job required more travel and late-night meetings. Lisa started to feel the strain of balancing work and home life. The initial thrill of their marriage began to fade, replaced by routine and responsibilities. As the years passed, the couple worked hard to maintain their relationship. They celebrated milestones, supported each other through challenges, and continued to build a life together. But beneath the surface, both David and Lisa began to feel the weight of their commitments and the distance that slowly grew between them. By 2020, the once strong bond between David and Lisa had weakened. They were still in love, but the connection that had once been so vibrant was now strained. The demands of work, raising children, and managing a household took their toll. David found himself longing for the simplicity and passion of their early years, while Lisa felt increasingly isolated and unfulfilled. Their story was far from over, and the challenges they faced would test their love and resilience in ways they never imagined. The year 2021 marked a turning point for David and Lisa. David had been working tirelessly at his job, often traveling and attending late-night meetings. The constant pressure and long hours began to take a toll on him, both physically and mentally. Despite his dedication, the company's financial performance was declining, and rumors of layoffs circulated. In January 2021, David received the news he had been dreading: he was being let go. The company needed to downsize, and despite his contributions, he was among those affected. The news hit him hard. He had dedicated so much of his life to his career, and now he felt lost and uncertain about the future. Lisa noticed the changes in David. He became withdrawn, spending hours staring at his computer or lost in thought. She tried to support him, but she was also dealing with her own struggles. Her part-time job at a marketing firm had become more demanding, requiring her to spend additional hours at the office. As David grappled with his job loss, he took on more responsibilities at home. He became the primary caregiver for Ethan and Sophia, managing their school schedules, meals, and extracurricular activities. The children appreciated having their father around more, but the dynamic at home shifted. David felt emasculated and frustrated by his inability to provide financially for his family. Lisa, on the other hand, was consumed by her work. She often came home late, exhausted from the demands of her job. The couple's communication began to deteriorate. David's feelings of inadequacy grew, and Lisa's focus on work created a rift between them. They were drifting apart, caught in the daily grind of their individual struggles. By February 2021, their financial situation had worsened. David had been meticulously managing their finances, but the loss of his income was a significant blow. Bills piled up, and their savings dwindled. David spent hours analyzing their finances, trying to find ways to cut costs and make ends meet. However, Lisa's spending habits didn't change. She seemed oblivious to the gravity of their financial crisis. One evening, as David was poring over their bills, Lisa walked in. It was almost 10 p.m., and the kids had already eaten dinner and gone to bed. David had been waiting for her, hoping they could discuss their situation. Instead, she simply announced, "David, I want a divorce." The words hit David like a ton of bricks. He was overwhelmed with doubt, self-loathing, and a sense of numbness. He tried to suppress a bitter laugh, but the pain was too deep. After 17 years of marriage, everything they had built together was falling apart. David's mind raced back to their happier times, recalling the moments of joy and love they had shared. But those memories were quickly overshadowed by the harsh reality of their present situation. He looked at Lisa, searching for any sign of remorse or regret, but her expression remained cold and detached. "Okay," he finally replied, his voice void of emotion. From that moment on, their lives took a downward spiral. David struggled to come to terms with the impending divorce. He felt a mixture of anger, sadness, and relief. The life he had known for so long was crumbling, and he didn't know how to rebuild it. As the weeks passed, David found himself grappling with his new reality. He attended job interviews, but his heart wasn't in it. He missed the sense of purpose and fulfillment that his old job had given him. Instead, he focused on his children, finding solace in their routine and the small moments of joy they brought him. Lisa, meanwhile, seemed to be moving on with her life. She continued to work late hours, and David suspected that her affair with Brian Taylor, her boss, was still ongoing. He tried to push those thoughts aside, but the pain of betrayal was too much to bear. In April 2021, David stumbled upon undeniable proof of Lisa's infidelity. While searching for a sweater in her closet, he found a pink box with a white ribbon from a lingerie store. Inside was a postcard addressed to "Beloved," with a note that read, "Excuse the wrapping. Unwrap the real gift on your birthday when I wear what's in the box. Love, Lisa." David's heart sank. He felt a wave of emotions: anger, hurt, and disbelief. He decided to bide his time and gather more evidence before confronting Lisa. Over the next few days, he made extra efforts to show his love, hoping to see some sign of guilt or remorse in her. But Lisa's reaction was indifferent, almost as if she tolerated his gestures. On his birthday, David ensured that the kids finished their homework early to avoid any interruptions. Lisa arrived home late and asked, "What's for dinner?" Her nonchalant attitude threw him off, but he suggested going out for pizza. At the restaurant, the waiters wished him a happy birthday, and he thought he saw a flicker of surprise in Lisa's eyes, but she quickly recovered. "I'll give you your present later," she said with a smile. The ride home was stressful, nearly resulting in a car accident. Waiting for the kids to get ready for bed and then for them to fall asleep felt like an eternity. When David finally reached their bedroom, Lisa wasn't there. Moments later, she emerged from the bathroom in a flannel nightgown, no makeup, and her hair in a ponytail. Frustrated, David asked about his present. Lisa slid into bed, reached for the lamp, and then stopped. "Oh, I almost forgot," she said, pulling a small box wrapped in balloon paper from the nightstand and handing it to him. "Happy birthday, darling." Then she turned off the light and fell asleep. David was too shocked to even open the present. The next day, he fell into a deep depression, replaying the events of the previous days in his mind. The unopened present mocked him, a constant reminder of his wife's betrayal. He had always heard that the husband is the last to know, but he felt completely in the dark. 13 days after his birthday, Lisa called to say she'd be late for Brian Taylor's 30th birthday celebration. As David stared at the empty closet space where his present had been, he felt chest pain and prolonged vomiting. He feared he was having a heart attack and, for a moment, wished it were true. Their daughter Sophia brought him back to reality. "Are you okay, Daddy?" she asked, nearly in tears. David reassured her, claiming he had a stomach issue and needed a moment. Eventually, he left the bathroom, grabbed his dusty bottle of scotch, and drank enough to wake with a severe headache. He didn't know when Lisa came home, but the next morning she was in the kitchen with the kids as if nothing had happened. As the days turned into weeks, David's despair deepened. He felt like a zombie, going through the motions of daily life without any real purpose. Lisa's carefree attitude only added to his misery. He hit rock bottom, unable to find a way out of his depression. On their 17th wedding anniversary, David finally decided to take action. Lisa announced she had a work conference during their anniversary, which felt like another level of disrespect. She didn't even acknowledge the date. After drinking heavily on their anniversary, David woke up angry and decided to call a lawyer. He was determined to end this farce of a marriage. Thinking his life couldn't get worse, David was wrong. The lawyer demolished his hopes. Without concrete evidence of Lisa's cheating, it wouldn't matter. She would get half their assets, joint custody at best, and he'd have to pay alimony. Lisa would likely get primary custody and the house for the kids' sake. David's depression turned to confusion. A few weeks later, Lisa asked, "You really don't look well, David. Is something bothering you?" David lied, "No, honey." Then he got fired, which turned out to be the best thing. Watching the news, he saw a major employer go bankrupt, leaving employees without pay or pensions. It hit him. If they had nothing, they wouldn't share anything in a divorce. David decided to spend their savings until there was nothing left. It was a reckless plan, but he was desperate. By the summer of 2021, David's reckless plan was in full swing. He had withdrawn large sums of money from their savings accounts, making seemingly lavish purchases. He bought a new luxury SUV, paid for an executive MBA program, and fully funded Ethan and Sophia's educational savings accounts. To anyone observing, it would appear that the family was thriving financially, but David knew better. He also began to spend money on private investigators to track Lisa's activities. The surveillance reports confirmed his worst fears. Lisa was not only involved with Brian Taylor but also with several other men from her office and even some clients. David felt a strange mixture of relief and pain seeing the evidence. It validated his suspicions but also deepened his sense of betrayal. In June 2021, David confronted Lisa with the evidence. He showed her the photos, videos, and detailed reports. Lisa's face turned pale, and she tried to defend herself, but the evidence was overwhelming. David didn't yell or argue, he simply told her he wanted a divorce. Lisa, shocked and perhaps a bit relieved, agreed. The process of divorce was painful and drawn out. David's lawyer advised him on the best course of action, but the legal system was not in his favor. Despite having proof of Lisa's infidelity, the court still awarded her joint custody and a significant portion of their assets. David was devastated but remained focused on his children and his plan to rebuild his life. In July 2021, David finalized the divorce. The court granted him primary custody of Ethan and Sophia, but Lisa was allowed visitation rights. David's financial situation was precarious, but he was determined to make it work. He continued his MBA program, attended job interviews, and dedicated himself to being the best father he could be. Lisa, on the other hand, struggled to maintain her lifestyle. Her relationship with Brian Taylor ended abruptly, and she found herself isolated from her former social circle. She tried to rebuild her relationship with Ethan and Sophia, but the children were distant and unresponsive. They had seen the pain their father went through and resented their mother for it. David's determination and hard work paid off. By the end of 2021, he had completed his MBA program and started a new job at a tech firm in Boston. His salary was modest compared to his previous job, but it provided enough to support his family. He focused on his children, ensuring they felt loved and secure despite the changes in their lives. David's life began to stabilize in 2022. He maintained a strict routine, balancing work and family life. He woke up early to make breakfast for Ethan and Sophia, drove them to school, and then headed to work. In the evenings, he helped them with their homework, cooked dinner, and spent quality time with them. Despite the challenges, David found joy in the little moments with his children. He also continued to withdraw cash regularly, creating a war chest for the post-divorce period. He invested in a wall safe hidden in the garage, where he stashed most of the money. He also continued to collect evidence against Lisa, hoping it would help him if she ever tried to fight for more custody or assets. David's meticulous planning and hard work began to pay off. He saw improvements in his children's behavior and school performance. Ethan and Sophia seemed happier and more confident, and their bond with David grew stronger. He felt a sense of accomplishment knowing he was providing a stable and loving environment for them. Lisa, meanwhile, faced increasing difficulties. Her reputation at work was tarnished, and she struggled to find a new job. She eventually took a position at a small marketing firm in New Hampshire, far from Boston. The distance made it even harder for her to maintain a relationship with Ethan and Sophia. She visited them occasionally, but the visits were strained and awkward. In the spring of 2022, David's lawyer informed him of an unexpected development. Several of the companies involved in Lisa's affairs had settled the lawsuits he had filed. David received over $1 million in compensation, a surprising and welcome windfall. He used the money to pay off debts, invest in his children's future, and improve their home. The settlement also had a ripple effect on Lisa's life. Her former employer faced a barrage of legal challenges and negative publicity, eventually leading to bankruptcy. Brian Taylor was fired and left town in disgrace. Lisa's life continued to spiral downward, and she found herself working as a maid in a small hotel in rural New Hampshire. David felt a sense of vindication but also a deep sadness for what had become of Lisa. Despite everything, he had loved her once, and seeing her fall so far was painful. He focused on his children and his work, determined to build a better future for all of them. By the summer of 2023, David had settled into a new routine. He had been promoted to a senior position at his tech firm, and his financial situation was stable. He continued to prioritize his children, ensuring they had everything they needed to thrive. Ethan and Sophia had adjusted well to their new life. They excelled in school and participated in various extracurricular activities. David encouraged their interests and supported them in every way he could. He became a familiar face at school events and community activities, earning the respect and admiration of other parents. David's personal life, however, remained complicated. He had not pursued any serious relationships since the divorce. He felt a sense of responsibility to his children and was wary of bringing anyone new into their lives. He occasionally dated, but nothing ever progressed beyond a few casual dinners. Lisa's attempts to rebuild her relationship with Ethan and Sophia continued to fail. The children were polite but distant during their visits, and Lisa felt the weight of her mistakes. She tried to make amends, but the damage was too deep. She eventually accepted that she would never have the close bond with them that David did. In June 2023, David received a call from Sophia's school. She had been selected as the valedictorian for her graduating class, and they wanted David to speak at the ceremony. He was filled with pride and agreed immediately. The event was a milestone, a testament to the strength and resilience of his family. The graduation ceremony was a joyous occasion. David watched with pride as Sophia delivered her speech, reflecting on her journey and thanking her father for his unwavering support. Ethan, too, was thriving, preparing for his sophomore year of high school with enthusiasm. After the ceremony, David found himself reflecting on the past few years. He had faced tremendous challenges and endured deep pain, but he had emerged stronger and more determined than ever. His children were happy and successful, and he felt a sense of fulfillment that he hadn't known was possible. In the summer of 2024, Sophia announced that she was getting married. David was thrilled for her but also apprehensive about the upcoming reunion with Lisa. It had been years since they had seen each other, and he wasn't sure how he would feel. The wedding was planned for June 2024, and as the date approached, David prepared himself emotionally. He focused on supporting Sophia and ensuring the event went smoothly. He also spent time with Ethan, who was now a senior in high school, preparing for his own future. The wedding day arrived, and David felt a mixture of joy and anxiety. He walked Sophia down the aisle, feeling a surge of pride and love. The ceremony was beautiful, and as he watched his daughter exchange vows with her partner, he felt a sense of peace. During the reception, David spotted Lisa sitting alone at a table in the back. She looked older and more worn, with deep lines on her face and a sadness in her eyes. David decided to approach her, wanting to put the past behind them. "Hello, Lisa," he said, his voice calm and steady. Lisa looked up, surprised but then nodded. "Hello, David." They talked briefly, exchanging polite pleasantries. David could see the pain and regret in Lisa's eyes, but he felt no animosity. He had moved on, and he hoped she could find some peace as well. As the evening drew to a close, David walked Lisa to the cab she had called. He noticed the small gold ring on her finger and smiled. "I'm glad you found someone, Lisa. I hope he makes you happy." Lisa looked at him, tears in her eyes. "David, you ruined my life." David met her gaze, unflinching. "No, Lisa, you ruined your own life. I just picked up the pieces." He watched as the cab drove away, feeling a weight lift off his shoulders. He had finally let go of the past, ready to embrace the future. Life after the wedding was a new chapter for David. He continued to focus on his career and his children, but he also allowed himself to open up to new possibilities. He started dating again, cautiously at first, but gradually more seriously. In the fall of 2024, David met Emma, a colleague at his tech firm. She was kind, intelligent, and had a calming presence that David found comforting. They started spending more time together, and David found himself enjoying her company. Ethan graduated from high school in 2025 and decided to attend MIT, following in his father's footsteps. David was incredibly proud and supported Ethan in every way possible. Sophia, meanwhile, had started her own career and was happily married. David and Emma's relationship blossomed, and by 2026, they were engaged. David felt a renewed sense of hope and happiness. He had faced tremendous challenges, but he had built a life he was proud of. He had found love again, and his children were thriving. As David looked back on his journey, he realized that the pain and hardships had shaped him into a stronger and more resilient person. He had learned to cherish the moments of joy and to find strength in the face of adversity. His story was one of redemption, resilience, and the enduring power of love. David's story is a testament to the strength of the human spirit. Despite facing betrayal and immense challenges, he found a way to rebuild his life and provide a loving and stable environment for his children. His journey teaches us that even in the darkest times, there is hope and the possibility of a brighter future. The lessons from David's life are clear. 1. Resilience *. Life can be incredibly challenging, but with determination and perseverance, we can overcome even the most difficult obstacles. 2. Love and family *. The bonds of love and family are powerful and can provide strength and support during tough times. 3. Self-worth *. It is essential to recognize our value and not let others' actions define our worth. 4. Forgiveness and moving on *. Holding on to anger and resentment can be detrimental to our well-being. Finding a way to forgive and move on is crucial for personal growth and happiness. David's journey reminds us that while life may not always go as planned, we have the power to shape our destiny and create a fulfilling and meaningful life. As we come to the end of this emotional journey on Storytime Audio, we reflect on the profound story of David and Lisa. From the moment they met at a summer party to the heart-wrenching discovery of Lisa's betrayal, their story has been one of immense challenges and personal growth. David faced the ultimate test of resilience. After losing his job and discovering his wife's infidelity, he found himself at a crossroads. Instead of succumbing to despair, he chose to fight for his children and rebuild his life from the ground up. His unwavering dedication to Ethan and Sophia became the anchor that kept him steady amidst the storm. Lisa's choices led her down a path of regret and isolation. While David found strength and purpose in caring for their children, Lisa struggled to find her footing. Her actions shattered the trust and bond that once held their family together, leaving her to grapple with the consequences. Yet, amidst the pain and betrayal, there was also hope and redemption. David's journey of self-discovery and perseverance eventually brought him new opportunities and a renewed sense of purpose. His relationship with his children flourished, and he found love again with Emma, a kindred spirit who understood and supported him. As we conclude this story, we are reminded of the incredible strength of the human spirit. David's tale teaches us that even in the face of betrayal and loss, it is possible to rise above and find a brighter future. It is a testament to the power of love, resilience, and the enduring hope that lies within us all. Thank you for joining us on Storytime Audio. We hope David and Lisa's story has touched your heart and inspired you to believe in the power of redemption and the possibility of new beginnings. Stay tuned for more heartfelt stories that explore the depths of human experience. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to stay updated with our latest episodes. Until next time, keep believing in the power of your own story.